I think it's page 9, so I'm going to do Huh? Say that again? I'm now going to give the total, which is House resumes, and I have to report that the estimates passed through the Committee of Supply without amendments. The question is that the estimates for $1,20,164,545 as per procedure on bills be approved. Those in favor? Aye. Those against? The ayes have it. So now we're going to do the appropriations. Now I discussed it with FS, and the thing is, in normal circumstances with bills, all we do for schedules is give the amount. So with your permission, I was just going to give the two amounts and the total. Is that okay? Is it okay?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes,
okay. So we have the first amount is $538,374,527. Okay, that's the schedule. But I must first do the bill as is normal. She's coming to tell me something. I was going to. Yeah. Oh, no, so we have to do the readings of. So all three, we're going to do all three. So the normal proceedings for bills.
Yeah. You reverse now.
Pardon?
You reverse.
Yes, yes.
Madam Speaker, I move that the bill shortly entitled 2019-2020 Appropriation Act 2019 be read the first time.
It has been moved and seconded that the bill shortly entitled the 2019-2020 Appropriations Bill be read a first time. Those in favor? Aye. Those against? The ayes have it.
2019-2020 Appropriation Act 2019.
Madam Speaker, I move that the bill shortly entitled 2019-2020 Appropriation Act 2019 be read a second time.
It has been moved and seconded that the bill shortly entitled the 2019-2020 Appropriation Act of 2019 be read a second time. Those in favor? Aye. Those against? The ayes have it.
2019-2020 Appropriation Act 2019.
Now we go to committee. The bill now stands committed to a committee of the whole House to be considered clause by clause. House resumes, and I have to report that the bill shortly entitled the 2019-2020 Appropriations Act of 2019 passed the committee stage with no amendments. The question is that the report of the committee be on the bill be adopted. Those in favor? Those against? The ayes have it. Third reading now.
Madam Speaker, I move that the bill shortly entitled 2019-2020 Appropriation Act 2019 be read a third time and passed accordingly.
It has been moved and seconded that the bill shortly entitled the 2019-2020 Appropriations Act of 2019 be read a third time and passed. Those in favor? Aye. Those against? The ayes have it. The bill will now be read a third time.
2019-2020 Appropriation Act 2019.
The bill has been read a third time and passed accordingly.
A resolution for the authorization for overdraft. Whereas by virtue of Section 3.1 of the Loans Act, Chapter 6405 of the 1990 Revised Laws of the Commonwealth of Dominica, the House of Assembly may by resolution duly passed authorize the Minister responsible for finance to borrow money from approved sources or guarantee loans to statutory boards or public corporations for the purpose of financing general development purposes or for other purposes. And whereas, in accordance with Section 36(1) of the Finance Administration Act No. 4 of 1994, the power conferred by the Loans Act to borrow monies from means advances from a bank may be exercised by means of fluctuating overdraft. And whereas A sum not exceeding $56,500,000 is required to meet central government's current overdraft requirements, and B, a sum not exceeding $5 million Eastern Caribbean dollars is required to meet guarantee of overdrafts to statutory boards and public corporations. Be it be resolved that in accordance with Section 3.1 of the Loans Act, Chapter 6405 of 1990 Revised Laws of the Commonwealth of Dominica, this Honorable House authorizes the Minister for Finance to borrow and guarantee by means of fluctuating overdraft a sum not exceeding in the aggregate $61,500,000, that's Eastern Caribbean dollars. And that's from A, First Caribbean International Bank, Barbados Limited, B, National Bank of Dominica, C, Royal Bank of Canada, and or any other approved financial institution to meet central government's current overdraft requirement and to guarantee overdrafts to statutory and public corporation for a further period of 1 year commencing from the first day of July 2019. Madam Speaker, the resolution before this Honorable House seeks Parliament's approval for the use of a fluctuating overdraft in the total sum of $56.5 million on behalf of central government, and a sum of $5 million for statutory boards and public corporations to meet the government's short-term financing needs for the fiscal year 2019-2020. Section 36(1) of the Finance Administration Act No. 4 of 1994 specifies that the Minister for Finance may borrow by means of a fluctuating overdraft to finance government's operations. The overdraft facility is not intended to serve as a permanent source of financing, but rather as a bridging facility to meet short-term needs, which may arise as a result of unanticipated shortfalls in revenues or increased demands on the state due to unexpected events. Madam Speaker, since the passage of Hurricane Maria, expenditure has increased substantially. The expenditure being incurred has been for rehabilitation and recovery projects, including but not limited to housing, repairs to physical infrastructure, river dredging, and repairs to social infrastructure such as schools and health centers. Government has also focused on social support with increases in the transfers made to the Rapid Response Social Recovery Agency, renewals of transfers made to former residents of the Pilit Savannah area, and has maintained engagement under the National Employment Program, that is the NEP. A large part of the expenditure to date has been funded with revenues raised under the Citizenship by Investment Program, that is the CBIP. The balance has been funded with local resources, the payout for the catastrophic risk insurance, the immediate and emergency funds received from donors and benefactors after hurricane. Madam Speaker, no one can dispute that the pace at which reconstruction is being undertaken in Dominica is extraordinary. That fact has been repeated by every person who had seen the damage caused immediately after Hurricane Maria and who have seen the work done to date, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, it is acknowledged that in the aftermath of a storm of the magnitude of Hurricane Maria, that debt will increase. In that regard, government is recrafting its debt strategy, taking into consideration that it has to borrow more to supplement its revenue in order to continue the recovery and rehabilitation process. The revised strategy considered, among other things, the following: concessional loans to complement grant-funded projects, budgetary support and policy-based loans to underwrite the additional costs associated with building a stronger and more resilient country. And remember, we always talk about building back better, Madam Speaker. Rolling over of existing securities on better terms, such as seeking longer maturities. Increasing the level of bridging finance by increasing the legal limit of the overdraft for a period of 2 years. This will allow government to continue with rehabilitation even while it seeks to accelerate drawdown of funds from development partners. In that context, Madam Speaker, the resolution before this House seeks to set the limit for bridging finance at a higher level. It is therefore proposed that the overdraft facility available to government to be $56.5 million. The amount to be guaranteed for statutory and public corporation is $5 million. Madam Speaker, we continue to strive for optimal balance between responding to challenges caused by Hurricane Maria and the fiscal targets that government has set. We therefore will not lose sight of the goal of ensuring that public debt continues to be on a sustainable path. Madam Speaker, Parliament is therefore being requested to approve the sum of $56.5 million on behalf of central government, as well as an additional sum of $5 million to guarantee loans or overdrafts to statutory boards and public corporations. Approval is therefore being requested for the total sum of $61.5 million. I commend the motion to this Honorable House for its approval. Thank you.
The motion is now before the House for debate.
So, terminate. We terminated for the night. Huh? So we wind up. Okay. All right, Madam Speaker, I wish to wind the debate on the motion before us, and to say, Madam Speaker, in a disaster like this, expenditure will come to you like bullets. The sheer cost of responding to the hurricane, in terms of recovery and also in reconstruction, and therefore the additional space requested from Parliament is to give the government the ability of flexibility. Overdraft has been enforced since time immemorial, Madam Speaker. It's always a feature of the commencement of the financial year. The commitment I give to the Parliament, as I've always done, is to be very prudent with the use of the overdraft, because overdraft in itself, as many of us who have had overdraft facilities in our private businesses and our private capacities understand it is very expensive, and it is always borrowing of extreme last resort. If you can do without it, stay away from it. If you cannot, then you have to be judicious and careful with use, Madam Speaker. So we want to thank the Parliament for its consideration, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
So I can proceed. Well, let me go ahead and bring it to a close, this part, okay? Be it resolved that in accordance with Section 3.1 of the Loans Act, Chapter 6405 of the 1990 Revised Laws of the Commonwealth of Dominica, this Honorable House authorizes the Minister for Finance to borrow and guarantee by means of fluctuating overdraft a sum not exceeding in the aggregate, I have the wrong amount, so I have to... $61,500,000 from A, First Caribbean International Bank, Barbados Limited, B, National Bank of Dominica, C, Royal Bank of Canada, and or any other approved financial D, any other financial institution to meet central government's current overdraft requirements and to guarantee overdrafts to statutory and public corporations for a further period of 1 year commencing from the first day of July 2019. Those in favor? Aye. Those against? The ayes have it. The motion has carried. Let's just do our committees now.
Appointment of committees.
Madam Speaker, we have to appoint 4 committees essentially, 3 which are captured in the standing orders. That's the Public Accounts Committee, the Privileges Committee, the Standing Orders Committee, and then the Parliamentary Oversight Committee for the Cred, which there'll be 4 members in total, 2 from either side. So I wish to propose, Madam Speaker, first, who is your other members for the Accounts Committee beside yourself? Yes, sir. Joseph Francis. Just so you promote, man. I doesn't say I know you're sorry about it because I said just to promote. So, Madam Speaker, the Public Accounts Committee is the Honorable Lennox Linton, leader of the opposition as chairman, Senator the Honorable Felix Thomas, and we have Senator the Honorable Edward Regis and Senator the Honorable Jaiziah Binwa. That's in respect to the Public Accounts Committee. We will take all of them and then we'll just ratify them.
No, I'll do it in turn.
In turn, okay.
Because we have to sort of
Sure.
bring it to the approval. So I get us. Do you have a Senate? All right. Okay. It has been moved and seconded that the following persons serve on the Public Accounts Committee: Honorable Lennox Linton, leader of the opposition as chairman; Senator Felix Thomas; Senator Ed Regis; and Senator Jaiziah Benwa as the other committee members. Those in favor? Aye. Those against? The ayes have it.
And the
Privileges Committee.
Madam Speaker, in respect to the Privileges Committee, the Honorable Alex Boyd Knight, Speaker as Chair, as mandated by the standing orders. Honorable Dr. John Cody McIntyre, Honorable Dennis Charles, Senator the Honorable Manuel Williams John Baptist, that's correct? Yeah. And Honorable Joshua Francis.
Seconder. As for the Privileges Committee, it has been moved and seconded that the following persons serve. Alex Boyd Knight as chairperson, Dr. Colin McIntyre, and Honorable Dennis Charles, and Senator Moned Williams, and Honorable Williams John Baptist. Senator Williams John Baptist, and the other one was, what was it? Honorable Joshua Francis as committee members. Those in favor? Those against? The ayes have it. Then we have the
Daniel is name. Madam Speaker, in respect to the standing orders, Honorable Alex Boyd Knight, Speaker as Chair, Honorable Dr. Kenneth Darrow, Honorable Francis Barron, Senator Honorable Ronald Charles, and Honorable Daniel Luge.
Second advance.
So as for the Standing Orders Committee, Alex Boyd Knight's chairperson, Senator Ronald Charles, Honorable Danny Luge, and who are the other two for government side? The government side, Honorable Francine Barron and Honorable Kenneth Darrow. So that would be, I'll repeat that. For the Standing Orders Committee, you have Alex Boyd Knight, chairperson, Senator Ronald Charles, Honorable Danny Luge, Senator Francine Barron, and I forget again. Oh, Honorable Kenneth Darrow as members. Those in favor? Those against? The ayes have it. And we have one more.
Madam Speaker, in respect to the
Cred.
Climate Resilient Execution Agency of Dominica, the legislation provides for 5 members. It specifies the Honorable Attorney General. So we have the Honorable Attorney General as chair, as mandated by law. We need 2 from you. Ayes. So, Madam Speaker, the full membership would read as follows: Honorable Attorney General as chair, as mandated by the legislation; Honorable Miriam Blanchard; Honorable Francine Barron; Honorable Senator Honorable Isaac Baptiste; and Honorable Hector John. You have this lead.
As to the Cred Parliamentary Oversight Committee, the Attorney General as chairman, Senator Isaac Baptiste and Honorable Hector John, Senator Miriam Blanchard and Senator Francine Barron as members. Those in favor? Those against? The ayes have it. That's it.
So, Madam Speaker, having just completed a rather successful debate of the 2019-2020 budget, of the government having emerged victorious, I move that the House be adjourned standardized. Seconded.
That's it. Seconder?
Seconded, Madam Speaker.
Pardon? Okay. So, it has been moved and seconded that this Honorable House be adjourned sine die. Those in favor? Those against? The ayes have it. This Honorable House stands adjourned sine die.